All right. Well, we are back with Ken Munro from Entrepreneur Club, and so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Ken, for making time again. I feel like there is nuggets in between, you know, every sentence that is said and shared these days. So if everyone could just stay tuned and see what serves you during this conversation, I really feel like we will definitely be able to make a difference. So hopefully you guys will experience that as well. All right, Ken. So a few of the viewers on the call have already seen or heard about you, but I thought we'd start as though some of them don't know much about you. So tell us what Entrepreneur Club is and why you started it in the first place.
Sure, Tina. Thanks for asking me to participate with this. I'm really passionate about helping the business community in the Lower Mainland get through a really challenging time. My name is Ken Munro, and I'm a lifelong entrepreneur with formal training in accounting. During my day job, I run a consultancy with small businesses that are looking for support in a variety of areas, from branding, business, building business processes, or refining the customer experience. I get the opportunity to work on some really interesting projects. I like variety, and at this stage of my career, I find it really interesting to do work with small businesses that are requiring a variety of supports. I created Entrepreneur Club as I've become increasingly worried about the messaging that our youth are experiencing. They're being bombarded, quite honestly, with images that they'll be driving a Lamborghini, living in a mansion, traveling the world, all while working a few hours a week from a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
It seems to be really, really prevalent. And I've been building businesses for 30 years, and I still don't have the Lamborghini parked in front of my house. I find it really misleading. The reality is entrepreneurship is both challenging and extremely rewarding. And I'm passionate again about helping others build amazing businesses. I want to have a lasting positive impact on the youth of our community.
That's amazing. There's a few points that you touched on that really kind of sprung a light bulb up for me. One was the fact that you mentioned that a lot of businesses need a variety of assistance. Can you touch on that point for a minute? Because I feel like a lot of people may want to pay attention to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, small businesses especially, we don't always necessarily have, a large team of support within our organization, just because that's not the level of business that we're at any given time. So things like business planning, idea generation, marketing. I mean, everybody wants to talk about marketing, but what is really applicable during these times, and what's maybe applicable in the near future. It's a real changing landscape for small businesses these days. Company structures, how do you scale a business? What is your brand, tell your customers or your potential customers about you and your business? And then we also get into sometimes business logistics, how things flow through your business, from supply chains to delivery to your customer. So without having a large team, a lot of small businesses, they have holes throughout their organization, and that's where I come along and I work project-based. So we identify and agree on where some challenges are, and then I kind of take that as a project and work through it for them.
I think that's so pivotal. It's just, sometimes we're so close to, like we both call it, the baby, the business. And it's really important to sometimes even take yourself out of it. But in particular, if you have an outside perspective, like you said, those holes are probably what's slowing down a client calling you, or slowing down your sales, or not maintaining the team you want to have. Those are just examples of struggles that clients have. So I absolutely agree with you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and as an entrepreneur or a small business person, quite honestly, your weeks are long, your days are long. You have the pressures of family obligations. There's always a lot of balls in the air. You're always juggling. And sometimes you don't even see the holes, So
Yep.
sometimes to have somebody come in that really is objective, and take a look at things, you might sense that you have some issues, or you might be experiencing some, undesirable outcomes. You don't really know what is the source of that. Having somebody come in that isn't tied to your organization and just take a look at that is really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it can go a long way. I was just drafting an email before this to our tenants, and it's just like reach out. Don't get stuck. Reach out. Whether it's the person you should get on the phone with, the contact you saw on LinkedIn. That's how you and I met. That's it. Like we had a
Absolutely.
conversation over Instagram, and I'm not even really big on social media, but here we go. And this is what it resulted in, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I absolutely agree. So, what do you notice? I mean, there's so much happening right now. Obviously, where there's a lot of emotions in the air. What do you notice about the sentiment in the business community?
Yeah, there really is so much going on, and it's rapidly evolving, especially this week. Um, Things are changing quickly. So what I want to back up a little bit and just kind of talk about, the last couple months. As,
Yeah,
as the weeks continued on, with a long list of restrictions, I saw that so many businesses started to, um, kind of clam up and view their opportunities as diminished, or even worse than that.
yeah,
Uh, so, and it kind of spread like the virus did. To be honest,
wow,
it just sort of, the most positive people were, they were shifting, and you could just sort of see it going across, the landscape, I guess, really. Um, and then we get to this week, and the province releases a really thoughtful, staged, plan to move forward. And that's really, what it is it's a plan to move forward. um, so my biggest piece of advice for people is to start believing that there's a future again, because they've released this plan to restart the economy. It's a staged rollout, so we're going to go bit by bit. And I think the provincial government has put a lot of consideration into how it happens, while still placing a huge importance on the health and safety of the population. So a lot kind of transpired this week, and every day we're starting to see, tidbits of information from different segments of the business community, how they're going to be able to operate under the new, set of structures. So day by day, things are starting to happen. And while we may not be returning to what we consider normal, we are moving in that direction. And quite honestly, I think the business community in general should be excited, because
yes,
we're moving in the direction that we've been praying for, um, and it's not as drawn out as some may have expected. And I think that's super positive, and I think that's what we need to focus on. Is we've got some real positivity starting to happen.
I could not agree more. We are completely on the same page. And that is exactly it. Hey, because you know what? It's a nice reminder at this moment to go back to the people who were, and I understand, I do have compassion for some of those reactions are very emotional, but
Yeah.
just everybody, just this kind and silent reminder that about a month ago, there was people, that were completely just at their wits' end thinking this is going to last forever. And yeah, of course, like you said, we're going back in a cautionary steps, but nevertheless, it is a quicker recovery or quicker progressive, you know, quicker progressive action steps to get where we need to go. So yeah, that is absolutely what we need to focus on. So I
Yeah, and
agree with
I think that that is the reality. And to be honest, it's time to turn off the Netflix, get off the couch, and get yourself into a headspace focused on the restart, what that looks like in your business, and let's start looking at future growth.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to start somewhere, and your business needs you to do it, right? So that's totally true.
Yeah.
Um, Last time we talked about an actionable tip that businesses can take, and we spent some time discussing how important it is for businesses to stay engaged. What is another tip that businesses can employ right now?
Yeah, I love this. That's, this is the question that I get every day. People want to know what are some tactics and steps that they can take today that will start to have an impact and prepare them to move forward. So yeah, last week we talked about engage. Remind your customer that you are still here and you will be here to serve their needs in the very near future. Although that might have changed how that's going to look, it's super important to keep engaged with those customers and let them know that you're coming back and you're going to be there for them. So today I thought we'd talk about something that every business needs to do on a regular basis, regardless of a pandemic or any other business circumstances, is a cost structure analysis. As small businesses, we often get consumed with trying to grow our revenue side, and we neglect the cost side of our business. The cost side of the business, quite honestly, isn't as sexy as the revenue side. It's, so it obviously, falls by the wayside quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, this is something that, I think that, it's a process that's not difficult. It's not hugely time consuming, and everybody has the skill set to sit down and do it. You don't necessarily need to bring in your accountant. You don't need to bring in your lawyer. This is something that you can sit down and go through and actually come out with some actionable items.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's just really sitting down in a quiet space and setting up a clear slate of, strategy, just trying to find out how to clear the space. I remember you just took me back because about a month ago when this all happened, the first thing I did, I'm a writer, so that's the only way I can clear my mind. I mean, especially when it's really, really up there, and everything feels really full. And I just took everything and I wrote down every kind of challenge I had in the business and every solution and every action and every person I needed to get in contact with. And that honestly, like I'm not going to say it bridged all of the holes, but it bridged 85 to 90% of the holes, And I think that is so important for businesses, especially because you need a clear mind to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And really what you're describing is you sat down and you wrote a short-term business plan.
Basically, well said. Exactly. That is basically what I did without knowing it was called that at the time.
Well, for sure, because
it was like this or a mini nervous breakdown. Which one am I going to be?
Absolutely. But if somebody had said, "Hey, Tina, why don't you sit down and write a new business plan that's going to carry you through the next 3, 6, 8 months," you would have been gripped by fear because just by formalizing that and putting a title on it, sometimes we bring out our fears and we're held back by them. But what you did really was sit down and write your next business plan, and it's not your business plan forever, but it was your business plan for today.
Yeah.
Right. That's really great tip. I'm so happy that you brought that up.
Yeah, no, fantastic. I think it's super important to check in with yourself during this time in order to clear your thoughts, but more importantly, to take the next best step, right? So,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Well, okay. Well, guys, we have good news for you. We have other tips coming next week, so please keep posted. We're trying to make these informative but short and sweet. And I know that you guys, if you listen between the sentences, I'll say that again, there is a lot of nuggets, even when, even though I know Ken a little bit now, I still hear things that just make me think, oh, wow, I missed that one, or I got to think about that one. So hopefully that'll make a difference for you guys. And yeah, we have a lot of little gifts coming up for you. So please get in touch. Also, I should remind anybody who hasn't been on this call before, Ken has been generous enough to support businesses during this time and offer his time at no cost in order to consult and help anybody who needs that help, including on young entrepreneurs, or regular entrepreneurs in the adult population as well. So please, please, please reach out to him. He really has extensive experience, and this is, if you're looking for your sign, this is your sign. Please reach out and seek the help you're looking for, and hopefully he can assist you with that one.
Yeah, that was really well put, Tina. I'm very genuine, and there's absolutely no strings attached. If you want to have a conversation about something that's going on in your business, if you want to talk about, what the future could hold, just reach out. I mean, Tina, you and I met this exact way over social media, and we've started having conversations, and and here we are today now, producing material to try and help the community. So yeah, never be gripped by fear. People are usually really willing to talk, and I'm one of them. So if you have any sort of issues or questions, don't hesitate to call.
Awesome. Everyone have a peaceful, and hopefully sunny weekend. As I can see, it's starting to feel really like we're in a different. We're on vacation, guys. It's a staycation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully everybody enjoys the weather, and we'll see you all soon.
Sounds great. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, everybody.